use none of that. I just want to make that so clear. Reason.
I kind of like staring into your eyes.
Yeah, my beautiful, pure, the best eyes that...
The master race.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Don't look at my eyes. It's just brown. I'm doing good, dude. How you doing, Carson?
Cool way to start. We always find a great way to start this podcast, you know?
Is to be racist.
It's to just be racist. I don't know if you guys picked up on that. This is just a racist podcast, you know?
Both of us are just supremely racist. Actually, I think we're so racist that it cancels out.
Exactly.
But we've said this before.
We've said this before, and it's
everybody gets shit.
Yeah.
Basically
everyone, you know?
Yeah.
But anyways, Andy, what has been new in your life?
I don't know, man. I went to San Diego last week.
You went to San Diego. Tell me about San Diego. San Diego.
Stay classy, San Diego.
Stay classy.
San Diego. Chicken of the railroad. Oh, that's a different guy.
Different guy.
Yeah. I mean, it was good. We stayed there for 3 days.
For 3 days.
It was all right. I like the aircraft carrier USS Midway, and I saw 2 real aircraft carriers, like active service Nimitz class carriers, because San Diego is a big like Navy base.
It is,
right?
Yes.
So it was the USS Abraham Lincoln and the Carl Vinson.
And there's one called Abe Lincoln.
Aren't you American? Only when it's convenient.
That was the worst time to take a drink of water.
Yeah.
No, it's just an interesting name. Like, if you think about it, like let's say Andy, picture it.
Okay.
Picture it for me. Pick a country that's not America.
I don't know, Japan.
Yeah. Sure. So let's say we're Japanese and we're at war with the Americans again.
Yikes. That was an actual thing.
It was, but it's not right now, so we could talk about it.
Okay.
So let's just say in this hypothetical situation,
I don't like where this is going.
We're at war, right? And
Yeah.
we're like on the coast of Japan, right?
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Do you see it?
We're there, yeah.
Yeah, we're there.
I feel the wind in my face.
Yes, good.
And
I
the
need
gunpowder.
you, Andy, for this story, I need you to be there.
I am there.
So imagine, all of a sudden, it's red alert. Like, all the alarms are going off. They're like, oh my gosh. And then, like, they're like, it's Abe Lincoln. Like, no.
And I'm like, what? Did somebody clone him?
Yeah, everyone's just going to be like, oh, never mind. Forget the red alert. Like.
And then we get bombed to all hell. Because the aircraft from Abe Lincoln is just like...
I don't think aircraft send that.
What? Yeah, bombs, dude. Yeah, they drop bombs.
The carriers have, like, planes, but, like, they don't drop.
The carriers don't drop the bombs.
Yes.
It's the aircraft from the carrier.
The carrier, yes.
See, I need you to imagine this.
Okay, imagine...
We're in the coast of Japan, right?
Yeah.
See this big-ass fucking black floating city, essentially, right?
Yes.
And it's just like fucking... you don't even see it because it's like beyond the horizon. Right?
Yeah.
And it's just like, great, F-18s, away. And then everything fades to black for you and me because we're dead.
We're dead. We're gone.
America. Anyway.
America.
America.
Well, today we wanted to kind of like we've been kind of tossing around different segments, and one in particular that I think is kind of universal with anyone that's kind of in this metal community is concert experiences.
So Carson floated this idea out to me today.
Because, you got to think, like, you're going to have, like, especially if you're an avid concert goer, like, you're going to have really good experiences. You're going to have, like...
bad experiences
monumental bad experiences.
And everything in between.
And everything in between, because you might just have, like, a mid-concert that you're just like, oh, yeah,
It was okay.
It was good. It was a good time, like, enjoying myself.
Yeah.
And then you got, like, the mountaintop high kind of concerts and stuff like that. But I always thought this would be, like, an interesting one. So why don't you start it off, Andy? Tell me about, like... some of the most memorable concert experiences specifically that like just you come to mind.
I have plenty, right? But I'm gonna start off with a funny one.
Okay.
So I forgot what year was this. I think it was 2009 or 2010. One of those.
Yeah.
I went to see Lamb of God.
Okay.
And because they're known for their pits, the Wall of Death.
Yeah.
And I knew before going I wanted to be part of that.
Yeah.
Right? And so they usually started with your song Black Label.
Okay.
Go listen to that song. It's fucking amazing.
Okay.
Anyway, so they split us up like the Red Sea.
Yeah.
So I got on my side. Everybody else got on their side. We were ready. And they're like, all right, at the count of whatever, you start this shit.
Yeah.
So everybody was like chomping at the bits. We were like, fuck yeah, let's go right now.
Yeah.
And then when it was finally time, so everybody charged, including me. But what had happened was, it was pretty anticlimactic. The guy in front of me, as he bolted forward, he fucking fell on his ass.
Oh yeah, on his ass.
He fell, and then somehow he ended up on his back, basically lying down.
Oh my god.
And there's a bunch of us running.
So, yeah.
Imagine you're there. I need you to imagine you're there for this story.
Wait.
Do you see it now? Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I see it.
So imagine we're beside each other.
Yeah.
The guy in front of me was pretty huge.
Yeah. And he's
Fell
the
down.
one that fell.
He fell down on his own.
Yeah.
Dude, while I was running, I was trying to avoid him, but in doing so, I stepped on his chest.
Yeah. Well, that was my thing immediately when you're like, he fell. I was like, yo, like
he didn't die. He didn't die. He didn't
probably
die.
just get like trampled.
No. I didn't have time to completely
Step in.
evade or like even help him up.
Yeah.
Because he was directly in front of me.
Yeah.
And when you're in a wall of death or in a pit like personal space, what's that?
Yeah.
Right? So it was like this close.
Well, it gets to the point where like, and I think that's the cool thing about metal shows is like you can engage in that activity as like a, mutually agreed upon, like we're going to do something almost like savage, but like.
It's a social contract.
It's a social contract.
What do we do when somebody falls down? We pick him up. But I didn't have time.
Well, the thing is, like, because normally the proper manners is you help them up, but like you're mid-charge, so like that's pretty hard to stop from.
Yeah, I think he got like five people stepping on him behind me before he got up.
Yeah, bro.
I saw him got up because I was worried.
Yeah,
he got up, so I'm like, cool, I can mosh in peace.
Yeah,
and that's
crazy.
That's a story.
Yeah, I always think the mosh thing is always super interesting because I think there's some people that definitely don't understand how those rules work. Yeah. And then there's also the people that like abuse them as well.
Absolutely.
Like a great example, I saw Vane, they go like Vane FM. I don't know why the .fm is there. It's cool.
It's their website.
It's their website. Yeah, that's how it works. So I saw Vane. It was with Parkway Drive was the headliner. We were there for Vane, actually. I didn't give a shit about Parkway
I get
Drive.
that. Yeah.
Like, I really like, I still will stand by Vane as probably one of the, like, innovators of, like, how hardcore should be.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I took my buddies, James Folse and Jonathan Nguyen, and so we're at the Palladium.
Worcester.
No.
Not Worcester.
LA okay. Palladium.
I'm like, oh my god.
No.
Boston memories.
Yeah. No, there's one down that used to be a roller rink, and now that's the LA Palladium.
Okay.
So we really like we were one of the first people there because we were like we just want to see Vane, we want to see Vane, and so we're going, and like the vibe of like a concert, like when it's the opener, it's like people are there, but like there's still a lot of space.
Yeah.
Like, and so my buddy Jonathan like loves to crowd kill, like he loves to do like the thing.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. Karate core.
Which I'm like. Full send. That's freaking legit.
That's why we're here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
James Folse and I are both ones that like we will like headbang and be really into it, but we're not going to be like. I've changed since then. Like I was 18 at the time. Now I'm like I want to go in the mosh and I want to go freaking hard. But like at that time I was just like, I'm just gonna like.
Just take it in.
Yeah, just take it in. Because that's just how I was enjoying music at that period of time. But he was crowd killing. So the reason I bring up a lot of space is because, like, I think it's very important because he was crowd killing, but he could have thrown the hardest punch of his life, and he wouldn't even come near the next person in the vicinity. So like you know,
punching air.
Yeah, he's just punching. Like he's not even like no altercation with the person. Like he's just doing the motions. But like he just enjoys doing it, right? So now I will say like people were kind of scattered around doing similar
thing, yeah,
similar thing. So like I felt like oh yeah, totally normal,
Yeah.
And then a guy out of nowhere, runs up to Jonathan and just full on uppercuts
him. Holy shit.
And like, again, Jonathan wasn't near anybody. This person was like, I am just going to uppercut
somebody tonight.
This, basically, he was 16 years old.
Yikes. How old was this guy, do you think?
Dude, he was
like
probably
40.
his 30s.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Late
Oh,
30s,
yeah,
40s. So I was like, we both were like my buddy Chase and I just looked at each other and we're like,
holy fuck.
like, what do we do? And you know, like when you catch yourself, you're like, man, you're such a dick. Like to myself, like to yourself, where you're like, stop thinking about yourself. I literally, so Jonathan was like the best sport about it. Like he came over, his mouth was like gushing blood.
Oh fuck.
And he goes, I got punched in the face. Guys. So how I caught myself being like a jerk and like just thinking about myself, I'm like, Jonathan, do we have to leave?
But I want to enjoy the show.
And then, but like I did that like in jest, but then like immediately after I was like, are you fine? He's like, I gotta go to the bathroom. I'm making him seem like he has a head injury. Like he just had
Clean yourself up.
He had a crazy lisp because, and apparently like James went back with, James was like, dude, I got it. I'll take him back. And James came back and he was like, dude, Jonathan cleaned that the most unsanitary way possible.
What'd he do?
I don't know. That's all he said. I was like, what is it? And he's like, oh, kill switch engage. Which, by the way, live, I don't know if it was just that night. Garbage.
Okay, I've seen them live too.
What are your thoughts?
Amazing.
Yeah, so
maybe it was an off night.
It was probably just an off night, so I don't want to like classify them as a bad live band. But when I saw them at that night, I was like, bro, like, we just wanted to see Parkway.
This was in a theater, right?
Yeah, this was.
I saw them in a festival. It might have been different.
Might have been a different vibe. But what was crazy about that night, how that night ended, was again, we weren't really there for Parkway. Like we just stuck around because we were like, well, we paid for tickets, so like we might as well see like the headliner
exactly.
and stuff. And so Parkway goes, and I had never heard of Parkway before, and I was blown away. Like the first two songs, like all three of us, like especially my friend James, he's not a metalhead at all.
Yeah.
But he has like a couple bands that he really vibes with. And so Vane was one of them. And I was surprised, like even he with like Parkway, he was like, bro, this is good. So we were all freaking vibing, like we're having a great time. And apparently this was even before COVID. So like all of a sudden, oh wait, I can't remember. Oh, there was like a curfew, and I guess one of the openers like went too late or something, or like the time schedule got off, so Parkway had to like cut the set.
Yeah,
like it was like I'm not lying to you, a 20-minute set, and that was the equivalent of Vane's set, and they were the opener.
And then these guys were like the headliners. Ooh, they must have been pissed.
So like straight up, like everyone started like booing the Palladium because they're like screw these guys. Like what are we doing? You know?
Yeah, just 20 minutes. That's fucked up, dude.
It is, especially if you're like the headliner. I mean, like
what is this? Like 4 or 5 songs?
4 or 5 songs. You know,
or like in Opeth terms,
one song. Yeah. Porcupine Tree terms, Tool terms.
Yeah, all of the prog bands.
All the prog bands. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess that was a great transition into another concert story of mine.
Bring it on, man.
What about for you? No, because that was mine. What was your next one?
Okay, so my next one.
That's what I was saying. I was like, it was a great transition when we were talking about crowd killing and stuff.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, this one, okay, it's not funny. It's just, to me, it's like a memory that I'll never forget.
Yeah.
But I gotta give some background information first.
Okay.
So it's about Steve Vai.
Okay.
For background information, Steve Vai is the guitarist that made me want to become a professional musician. Because the first time I saw him, not live, but it was a video of him in concert. It was the Live at the Astoria DVD that my aunt and uncle in San Francisco showed me.
All the Live at Astoria ones are freaking sick. System of a Down has one
right?
too. That is so good.
So fucking good, right?
Anyways, keep going. Sorry, that was just a side thing. But
no, but I agree.
Yeah,
100%,
like any live like DVD I've seen from that, I've always just, like freaking kills.
Yeah. So well, Steve Vai was no different, but to me it was special because this was 2005, April, May, I want to say. And I had just started learning the guitar a year prior.
Yeah.
2004. So, but that time in my guitar playing career, I was just playing chords, just radio songs. Green Day, Linkin Park was the hardest I went.
Yeah.
But that's fine. We all start somewhere. And I still love those two bands today with all my heart.
Yeah.
But anyway, so they show me Shy Boy, the opener. And Steve I was doing all these things, like tapping, like fucking, oh my God. I was like, what the fuck is this? You can do that?
Yeah.
I want to do that.
Right.
That was it. For me, I'm like, I'm going to be a musician.
Yeah, yeah.
That was the moment.
Yeah.
The precise moment. I'm like, I'm going to take this all the way to that level if I can.
Yeah.
And I want to be a real guitarist / musician.
Yeah.
Anyway, so 2016 rolls around. I must have been 25, 26. I had the opportunity to go see him live for the first time.
Yeah.
Eventually, I took it. This was in Paris. I flew to Paris. I was already going to Paris first.
Okay.
So I already had my tickets and everything. And then he announced the show, or like a tour in Europe. And I'm like, oh my God, it coincides.
Yeah.
So I was like fucking excited. So I got tickets. I got the Evo experience. So it's like the highest tier ticket. There's a meet and greet. There's a discussion photo op.
You can
signing.
kiss Steve Vai right on the lips.
Just the lips?
Just the lips. Well, I guess it's the highest one. So a little bit of tongue.
South of the lips.
Oh my gosh! Wow, you can do that.
Yeah. No, but
I was like, you get what you pay for. Oh
so yeah, absolutely, yeah. Oh my God, that's not why it's memorable.
You're like, never forget that night.
I gave Steve a BJ. Wait, what?
Wait, Steve, please answer my text.
He ghosted me, bro. I gave you my number too. Anyway.
Okay, so please continue. I'm sorry. I saw a moment and I took it.
I would have done the same.
I know.
Hats off to you, sir.
This is break stuff, bro. We're not
serious. Here. What the
serious
fuck?
Ever.
So fast forward, I show up the day of the show.
Yeah.
Early. So I get off the train, the subway train, walking on the sidewalk. First of all, I already saw the bassist, Philip Bino, who's also from Berkeley, by the way, walking on the sidewalk at like 4 p.m. I shook his hand. I was so excited. I'm like, sir, I'm a big fan. I'll see you tonight.
Yeah.
He's like, cool, yeah, see you tonight. Have fun. Already I knew it was going to be the shit.
Yeah.
Went inside the theater. We were all herded to this big, I don't know, it's probably like a waiting hall. It's a huge place.
Yeah.
Steve I arrives, everybody, applauds, like, yay.
It's Prague. No one's like, woo. Everyone's just like.
Everybody's doing this.
Are they actually, though?
No.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Like,
it would have been funny, though, right?
I would have believed. I mean, like, that's the cool thing with Prague, though, is like it does expose people to like crazy time signatures. So like, you know how like at most concerts people can't even clap on beat. Like,
yeah,
every Prague DVD of like a live band, like everyone's like 5'8".
We got it, dude.
You know, like,
and it depends on the subdivisions too. So, but anyway, we're sidetracking
so
here.
They're clapping.
So we clap in 7/8. I'm kidding.
You clap in 7/8. Yes, of
course. He arrives. We all talk to him. After he gives a very, very insightful kind of talk to everybody at once.
Yeah.
And then you can go have your photo with him.
Yes.
And there's a line that forms. My turn comes. I told him, hey, Mr. Vai, I told him everything I told you guys. Like, you're the reason why I want to be a musician. You're the reason why I practice so much. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then I told him, yeah, I flew all the way from Manila to see you here tonight. And he's like, well, I hope it's worth it for you. And I'm like, what the fuck does that mean?
It's like, I feel like in his mind, he was like, I don't even know how to respond. Like, if someone flew from the Philippines.
What he did was like, oh, this guy flew from the Philippines to see me tonight.
Yeah.
We're doing one song and one song only. Fuck you. Bye.
Yeah. He's like, you know what? I'm a bit tired. Let's just do the show another night.
Yeah. Oh, another thing too was like, so he told me like, well, I hope it's worth it for you. Fast forward, we get to the show, so I'm like, front row.
Yeah.
Because we have early access. We saw the sound check. So another thing that made it special for me, it was I think it was the 25th or the 20th anniversary of Passion and Warfare, his seminal solo album. Anyway,
you're like so embarrassed that you know that. You're
I'm like
shaking
this is
your
why
head. You're like,
this is why I'm not a lady killer.
you're married.
Yes, I am. Oh well, she married me out of pity. But yeah, he was like, okay, now comes the part of the show where we write a song with you guys on the spot. I need 2 volunteers. First of all, he chooses this one French girl. Of course she was pretty. Of course.
Yeah.
Goes up the stage. I'm like, I'm in front, center. I'm like, oh, me. He's like, oh, all right, you. Okay. So he made it worth it. I was on stage that night with Steve Vai.
With Steve Vai.
And I don't know. I mean, I could die happy.
Yeah.
That was a huge thing.
What was writing the song like? Like, what did you and Pretty French Lady
writing a song?
Right, like what was that?
It's a gimmick, right?
Well, yeah, for sure.
So
but
French girl goes first.
Yeah.
I'm still in contact with her anyway.
I see.
Because we were both like, holy shit.
Yeah.
But anyway, her name was Celia.
Okay.
Or Celia in American.
Okay. Celia.
Celia.
Your American accent is just like Celia. Like, I don't even know. Like Celia. Okay, anyways, keep going.
So she's like, goes to Dave Wiener, the other guitarist in the band. I just want you to sing a guitar part for him to play. So she does it. And then my turn is I go to Philip Bino, who I met in the sidewalk
you met
earlier today. I shook his hand. The bassist is like, oh, Phil has perfect pitch. Why don't you sing something for him to play? You know what I did? I started singing the bass line to fucking Billie Jean.
Dude, that's awesome. That was
and then because he has perfect pitch, he got all the notes right, exactly right, the way I sang them. So there were a lot of bum notes because I can't sing for shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then Steve was like, doesn't that sound familiar? It's like, oh yeah, it's a Michael Jackson tune. Anyway, we'll work with that. There's a video. There's videos of that online. I can send it to you, show it to these guys.
Okay, yeah, we can make it like a Breakstuff exclusive. We'll have it as an extra short.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. You could actually see me singing the fucking embarrassing bass line in front of Phil Bino. Yeah. But yeah, that's the story.
That's the story.
Man, I was on stage with Steve Vai, so I would not dare play guitar.
Yeah, fair enough.
I could not.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that was it.
That was it.
What's your next one?
My next one, and this is how we'll finish the episode too. So a buddy of mine reached out. Shout out to Matt Anspaugh. He wanted to see a show, and he texted me, and he was like, "Are you interested?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And he sends it to me, and it's at Glen Helen Amphitheater. So now, why? Like immediately when I saw that, like my heart like dropped a little bit. Because of a concert experience I had at Glen Helen. Yeah. So it was 2017, so I was 17 at the time.
So young.
So young. And so similarly, the guy that got punched in the face in my previous story also went with me.
Of course.
So especially in high school, like one of those like very formative bands for me is System of a Down. I still really love System of a Down, just not at like the high of my...
Not like when you were in high school.
Not like when I was in high. Like, dude, I would listen to Toxicity and play video games all day.
I know. You kind of kicked my ass on Call of Duty.
Dude, I know. Yeah, I would literally, like, no joke, I'd play Call of Duty, Battlefield, or, what was it? Battlefront, the Star Wars game.
Wars, I love that.
But I would literally, like, I would even hear the noises of the game. I would just be blasting, like, System of a Down and, like, other bands like that and stuff. And so like System was huge, and so they were like doing this like basically like they were only doing 3 shows, but what I didn't realize, I thought they were just doing like 3 shows, but it was basically framed like a festival. Yeah. But it was one day.
Okay.
So like it would be one day, and then they would go to a whole other location and then do another, right? So 17-year-old me, I was very inexperienced with concerts. I'd been to a couple, like I'd been to one at the Roxy. I don't think I even had gone to the Palladium one yet. All
Okay.
of mine were very much like theater shows.
Oh, this was early Carson. Like
I mean, I was like 17, dude. So like, I wasn't like necessarily going to gigs. Like, I lived in Bakersfield,
so like last year, right?
yeah, last year. Yeah, you know, I'm 18 now. No, so I got like I see the show and the lineup. Like, say what you will, like it's not everybody's taste, but it was System. It was Incubus.
Oh, I love Incubus.
It was at the drive-in.
Yes, I know these guys.
Oh my gosh, there was another band that was pretty big.
2017. So.
Oh my gosh, it'll come to me, but like very stacked lineup. But in my head, I only saw the 3 like really big acts.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't process any of the other ones because, like, again, like, you know, like I'm just young, like I'm just excited about seeing System of a Down, like, you know.
Right.
So I get my friend Jonathan to come with us or to come with me, and so we get like we're leading up to it. And all these details are important because it's what makes this
I got you.
This thing.
Background info.
So a couple days before, I get an email from like the venue, not like the tour or anything like that. From the venue, they're like, "Hey, we noticed you purchased tickets. We want to let you know that parking is going to be very tough. Like it's going to be. We have this racetrack that is attached to Glen Helen Amphitheater, and you will be parking in that like basically
On the track.
not on the track, but like the parking lot to the track,
Okay.
if that makes sense. And then you will shuttle to where the amphitheater is, right? And so I was like, okay. And they're like, we highly recommend. And so to preface, it says the start time of the show is 3 p.m.
Okay.
So in my mind, I was like, oh, it's going to be more like a day thing. And they're like, we would highly recommend that you get here at 9 to ensure, like, to best ensure
9
that
a.m.
9 a.m. to
God
best ensure
damn.
that you get parking.
Okay.
And so, again, for me, I have had little to no experience in any shows. So in my mind, I was like, well, shoot, we got to be proactive and get there then. So from Bakersfield, San Bernardino is 3 hours.
Wait, I think I know this story.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
yeah.
So we, like, I Jonathan comes to my house. He drives to my house, and then I'm like, I drive over there. So we get there like right around 9, and like again, like we get there, and like there's other people. It's not like it's just us.
Yeah. Other people who got the email.
That got that email, and they're gonna be there super early. So people are already buying merch,
Mm-hmm.
you know, all that stuff. And so we see the amphitheater, and it's like far away. And we start walking, and they're like, "This is line number 1." And I was like, "Okay, line number 1."
Cool. Yeah.
So we're waiting there for like 2 hours. So like now it's like 11.
It's a while.
And then they let us through these gates, and they're like, "Welcome to line number 2." And I was like, and we didn't get downgraded. It was like the next tier.
Yeah.
So then we wait there for like another 2 hours. So now it's 1. And then they're like, all right.
Line number 3.
Line number 3. So I will say standing the whole time. No place to sit, because if we sit down, we're just sitting down, and like it was also very rainy. So it was like mud, basically.
Yeah.
So if we wanted to sit down. So Jonathan, like, especially by like 1, 2 p.m., like we're like squatting, like not even touching the ground, but like just to like give some
Relief to your leg
legs.
muscles. Yes.
Yeah. And so again, you guys are probably like thinking like, this is ridiculous. Like, why is this? And I was like, we're 17, we were dumb. Like we literally like innocently went to this not knowing. So part of this, like, I will accept full responsibility. I put myself in this torture, but like I didn't know any better.
That's how you learn, though, right?
Exactly. So it gets to 3, and so we're in the lawn. So it's basically like there's the amphitheater, seats, like lots of, there's the pit, seats, and then there's the lawn, which is like angled upward, but it's like an open lawn.
Okay.
So like you're, like it's just open. So granted, we got there really early, so we're literally at the edge of the lawn. So like the next thing is like the walkway, and then this. So like we basically have the best seats for the lawn.
Yeah.
Because we waited so freaking long. So we were like, all right, so it's going to be at the drive-in, Incubus, and then System of a Down.
Okay.
No. There is like 5 other bands
Before these three.
before even At the Drive-In comes in on. So we're like, we're standing through all these bands we don't care about. And like even like it wasn't even a thing like, oh, these are openers, we don't care. Like they just weren't that great.
Local bands.
I don't even know if they were like local bands. It was just like whatever, you know?
Yeah.
So you got to think about the accumulated exhaustion. So like it got to At the Drive-In, and there's some songs like even in my like state of like just desperation that I was like, oh, I like this song. And I will say Incubus gave like an amazing performance. I could not appreciate any moment of it.
Well, yeah, because
I was just so
dead tired.
I was so done. I was so done with life. And so Andy, I got there at 9 a.m. What time did System of a Down come on?
7,
What time did System of a Down come on?
8, 9,
What time did System of a Down
10,
come on?
11
p.m.
Holy
System of a
shit.
Down gets on stage.
more than 12 hours.
Yeah. So Jonathan, so like it's the same thing like with like anything that's like really like exciting, exhilarating. Like I remember Incubus, like I was hanging over the rails because like again, like we're like 17, I think he was 15. So like we aren't like going getting like even water or a lot of food because like we don't have like that much money. Like we already spent all this money.
17 years old.
Yeah, we like
bro.
already spent all this money to go to the show. Like, and so like we're definitely super dehydrated, and so like System comes on, and like you just get that like rush where you're like, oh yeah.
We
so, like,
came here for this.
yeah, so then like my young like 17-year-old like body like rejuvenates, and I'm like, and so I get all excited. So let me remind you as well though, I'm 17, so I'm still under like my parents' like rules.
Oh, so they start calling you. Where are you?
So it's like an hour into System's thing, and I just no call, I get a text. You best believe you better be on your way home now.
Yikes.
And so we were literally like, because you got to realize how aggravating that was, though, because we only got an hour of System.
Yeah. For 12 hours.
For
More than 12 hours.
12
of
hours,
waiting.
yeah, waiting.
Yeah.
So I will say we got like really good stuff on System's set. Like it's not like we didn't hear great songs. Like I remember when BYOB came on, I was like through the roof because I freaking love that song. So like we missed like a couple good ones, but it wasn't like we missed the whole show.
Right.
But yeah, and again, we were at the front of the lawn, so we had to like literally tank through. And Jonathan and I are both very short, so we had to like literally, we were like hobbits amongst the elves, like
Wow.
very nerd reference, like going through this entire sweaty crowd that like couldn't care less that we were trying to get out. So then we get in the shuttle like to get to the parking lot. So that was the first time that we sat down, and it was 12:30 at night.
Yikes.
And so then we drive, but again, it's 3 hours. And so I remember, again, you got to think the level of exhaustion we were at. So like Jonathan immediately passed out like once we got in my car.
Of course.
But
you have to drive.
I have to drive. So I remember I got halfway, and I had to stop at a McDonald's, and he was like, what's going on? I was like, dude, if I drive for another minute, we're gonna be
We're gonna die.
We're gonna die. Like I need to like walk or do something, otherwise we're not gonna make it.
Yeah.
And so I remember I dropped him off. So it's like 4 a.m. by the time I get to my house.
Shit.
And my mom
Was she livid?
she was just like, I'm just glad you survived. Like you're alive. I thought you died. And I was like,
As parents do.
yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
you know.
And I like, and again, like I told her, I was like, I really didn't know what I was getting in for, because I really just like I was so used to theater shows where it's like, yeah, you maybe have like an opener or two, but like
Then done.
done.
Living. Done.
And yeah, so like I saw some multiple pictures of Glenn Helen, like, oh yeah, like day shows and stuff. So like that's what I thought, and then
It wasn't
no.
that.
it wasn't that.
That's like a horrible plan
Yeah,
on the organizer's part.
yeah, because I don't think you should really be like I understand there was thousands of people there. There's
Mhm.
thousands of people at the show, but to be like come at 9 a.m.
And then there's 3 lines, 2 hours each.
Yeah,
And then there's 5 unknown bands before the bands you came for.
yeah, exactly.
I don't think that was a good move on their part.
No, it wasn't. But, you know, like, again, with more, like, you know, knowledge now. Like I would be like, yeah, we're gonna show up
Learning
much later.
experience.
But yeah, listen, that was concert time with Breakstuff, everybody. Please let us know if you hate this segment, if you hate us, if you think we should die, or if you enjoyed it.
I think all of the above, except
I think
the last
all
one.
of except the last one.
Yeah.
I think it sucked. We should die and
Never do this again.
never do this again because we're dead. Thank you so much for tuning in. I know
We'll see you in the next one.
Yes, we'll see you in the next episode of
Breakstuff.